My proudest moment is when I got my state cut a week after city meet at the time trial meet, because I've been working over a year and a half to get under a minute on my 100 butterfly cut, and I've gone through a lot of training to do that, and I finally got it.
My proudest moment would actually be signing with West Virginia Wesleyan.
I'd have to say that my proudest moment in swimming was my senior year at City when I made the A final and got 6th overall.
My proudest moment in swimming is definitely coming off of a spinal injury. I spent 3 months out of the water, so I was really pressured to get my state cut that winter, and when I finally did, I was so proud of myself and so thankful.
My proudest moment was when somebody pushed Rachel into the pool and I caught her right over before she hit the water.
Proudest moment would have to be this past season when we won City Meet. It was really surreal and amazing.
My proudest moment would have to be this year at State when I podiumed in all 4 of my races, and I got to stand on the podium with some of my closest friends because 3 of them were relays, and then I also had a really good 100 back and got 4th in that.
My proudest moment this year was making State on an individual swim. That was my proudest moment.
Some of the worst practices I can ever remember were my freshman, sophomore, and junior year winter training sets when my coach Lizzie Fleming would always make us do 100 100s, and I never usually ate before them, so by the time I was done I was literally starving.
My worst practice I've ever done is 12 days of Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Arguably the most difficult practice I've ever done was swimming 7 miles on Christmas Eve morning. It took 4 hours.
My favorite moment was when Ben got his state cut in the 100 fly, because him and I had been working for 2 years on fixing his stroke, and he finally got it.
One of my worst moments in swimming was at the first day of STEM practice. Knox made us do British reverse swimming, and so Preston forgot about this and dove in and hit me in the head.
One of my worst memories from swimming is when this girl named Jana Bruckbauer pushed off the wall in streamline position and hit me straight in the stomach and clawed all the way down my chest.
Something swimming has taught me is definitely dedication and time management. The sport is really time consuming, so it's really important to have a balanced life. And there are so many early morning practices and late nights that you spend at meets, so it's really important to stay dedicated to the sport because that's what's going to be.
It has taught me to always work hard and persevere, even when I don't feel like it.
My advice to the younger swimmers would be enjoy the time that you have together on the team because it really flies by really fast.
If I have any advice for younger swimmers, it's to never give up on your goals for when you're swimming, because I spent over a year and a half trying to get that state cut, and after the amount of ridiculous sets that I have done and the endurance that I had to build up for my 100 butterfly, I realized that I could do so much more than what I ever thought I could ever do.
One piece of advice I'd have to give all my younger swimmers is to get on Craig's good side.
My advice to the younger swimmers would be, don't swallow the pool water. It will make you sick. It's not good for you. Yeah.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Well, I'd like to start off by thanking my parents who always took me to my swim meets and volunteered. You guys have been awesome through the past 15 years. I'd like to thank all my coaches who've always believed in me, and I'd especially like to thank Jamie and Craig. Jamie for working with me in backstroke in my sophomore year to help me get that state cut, and for Craig this senior year for just making it so awesome. And I'd also like to thank my Starbucks.
I would like to thank my parents and my coaches for always being there for me and supporting me.
I'd like to thank my parents for dealing with me being a distance swimmer. They had to stay at swim meets. I have extra hours and hours waiting for me to finish my races. And I'd also like to thank Craig and Jamie for dealing with me being such a distance swimmer and pushing me to do the harder practices and the longer practices and keeping up my endurance my senior year.
Thank you, Coach Craig and Coach Jamie and Bennett for getting me through this year. It was my best year, so thank you for that. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for putting up with all my meets and just basically being there for me and paying for all my swim gear. That was a huge help.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for supporting me throughout my swimming career for the past 9 or 10 years, and I'd also like to thank Brooke, my sister, for pushing me these last 2 years especially to swim harder and really push hard in practice.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for all their support and the hours and hours they've spent at swim meets volunteering and watching me, and also my brother and my friends for always being supportive and pushing me to be the best that I can be. And lastly, all of the coaches I've had at TNAC and STEM, because I couldn't have done it without them.
I just want to thank my parents first of all for putting in all the time, taking me to early morning practices, practice every night, several times a week. They've always been there for me and they've always cheered me on, and I'm just really thankful for them. And I'm also really thankful for the support of my coaches and always staying by me even when times have been tough.
I'd like to thank my mom and my dad and everyone who supported me through this swim journey. I'd also like to thank my prime coaches, Nolan and Bobby, and my Gryphon Aquatic coaches for helping me through my senior year to get a good time.
I'd like to thank my parents for making me stay in swimming for all these years. I actually really enjoyed it this year. And I'd like to thank Craig especially for being such a great coach, and all of the swimmers for supporting each other.
I'd like to give a huge thank you to Craig for sticking with STEM and helping us get to first and city meet. And a huge thank you to Dr. Knox for helping me improve my motivation for swimming and helping me realize that I could do so much more than what I thought I could. And a huge thank you to my family as well for always sticking by my side and making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing at all times, and making sure that I can get up at 5:30 to wake up for swim practice. And also, last but not least, is definitely for all of my friends, because swim team is the main way where I made all of my social life, and without them I would be very lonely.